Hey everybody, welcome back to another Diecast review. Today we are taking a look at Kevin Harvick's 2022 Subway Ford Mustang. This is the second year that he's been sponsored by Subway, and frankly I think this paint scheme looks a little bit potentially better than his last year paint scheme. That being said, if the number was in the door, it would be obviously better. Unfortunately, the numbers slid too far forward like they all are, and not sure. But anyway, this has been a special request. This will actually be going to one of the mods from the chat. If you guys have seen Clyde in there, this one is actually going his direction, so you guys can congratulate on him on his newest car, because he's going to get to have it seen in a video, and now he has to patiently wait for it to arrive. I might just take an extra day or two to ship it, just because he's a Harvick fan. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's start with our box. We're going to go ahead and slide this over. And this is our box, because Lionel hates us, apparently, and we get all really bad boxes. Now, as you can see, it is clearly a Kevin Harvick car based on the... nothing. Yeah, so everything is a generic box this year. The only thing that makes them unique right here, Kevin Harvick, number 4 Subway 2022 Mustang. So take that sticker off. Every single box is the exact same. There are no different boxes. Which, as you can tell, I'm not a huge fan of, because I literally have custom artwork boxes as my new background, because if you guys know my cat Moffat, he was knocking all of them down constantly. I used to have a bunch of 164s. He literally knocked all of them down so often I just had to give up on it and go to 3 of those, because it's a lot easier to keep those upright. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this car here. Down the left side, you can see we've got our Goodyear Eagles. You can see the brake rotors in there. Black rims here. There's our single lug nut design. We do have our Ford Mustang front end here, which I will say the Ford Mustang looked a little different this year than the others. Everything else looked fairly similar to last year. The Mustang had the most drastic change. We got Goodyear NASCAR Cup Series. We got our number 4, the exhaust pipe coming out there, or the tips, I should say, the exhaust tips right there. You can see originally it was supposed to come out right about there, but you can see that's kind of covered up now. You can see Kevin Harvick up there on the name rail, number 4, and the roof hatch there on the roof, along with the front and rear facing cameras. Roof flaps do deploy. It is an ARC, so they do pop open. You can see the nice tall spoiler here in the back, very clear around the top, and then the little short spot down here. Remember, originally this car was supposed to have this tall spoiler and a 550 horsepower package, and the driver said that's going to race like crap. And so they shortened the spoiler and added the horsepower, and let me tell you what, the intermediates, they were better. I think people think the intermediates were incredible. No, they just weren't garbage. They weren't good. They just weren't as bad as you remember. Go back, and if you really want to see what good intermediate racing looks like, go back and look at some COT races. Go back and look at basically 2012 on back to 2004. Go to that era and the mile and a halfs. Oh boy, were they great. But anyway, we got Busch Beer down here. You can see Subway here on this part here. We got the ethanol ring. Then we got Pristine Auctions, Hunt Brothers, and the Subway logo down there. You can see there's a nice gap here where the number 4 could go, and the car could look a lot better, but unfortunately NASCAR has rules. You can see Harvick on the rear window. DIN number is 401. You can see the little slits in the rear window. That's venting to try and keep the car cool. Got Subway on the rear bumper, or the rear deck cover, whatever you want to call it, bumper cover. There you can see the Ford license plate. That's part of the kind of Ford design. And then you get that Mobil 1, number 4, and then just a bunch of decals back there. There's our diffuser on the rear as well. Subway on the rear deck lid. And like I said, DIN 401. You can see, just look at how tall that spoiler is. Like, that black part of the spoiler is about the height it's supposed to be, just a little taller. So it should be that black spoiler plus maybe like a fraction of it, and instead it's almost double with the clear. So hopefully they adjust that. I'm sure these were all made before the season. Now that they know the spoiler height is a lot shorter, I hope they do shrink that spoiler down to a better height. But on the right side, same as the left, Subway, we got our number 4, Busch Light, all those details there on the right side. Onto the nose, you can see we got our Ford Mustang front end here. You got the Mustang obviously there, the grill openings on the front and bottom. You see one over here on the left side, or sorry, on the right side. Another one over there on the left side, kind of right where the brake vent would be. Those are just decals as well, though. Number 4, we can see the Mustang headlights on each side, and we also see we got that different variable height splitter. It's more up in the air in the middle, and then kind of closer to the ground on the sides. We got the Subway emblem on the hood, along with, you can see the hood vents. They are just decals, though, on this hood. So you can kind of see where those hood vents are. A lot of people were wanting to see actual hood vents. I totally understand why Lionel didn't try it. The decals would have looked really bad, and so actually it looks better to do it that way. So I kind of understand what they're going for. That being said, we look under the hood here. You can see we actually have decent looking engine detail. It's you can see the silver valve plug wires on the blue valve cover, and the air box here, different little air vents on each side as well. Now it is just a basic plastic block, but the blue valve covers and the silver plug wires actually do show up and look like a pretty decent engine. But at the end of the day, these next-gen cars just do not have engine detail to them, unfortunately. Under the hood, though, you got a bunch of the Stewart-Haas sponsors as well. Going underneath the car, there you can see the diffuser, and then it's literally just that all the way around the rest of the car. Now, I know a lot of people say that looks cheap. That's actually what the bottom of the car looks like, unfortunately. There is a lack of detail on these cars in terms of underneath. That's what they designed it, so that way it was one solid piece on the bottom, and nobody was engineering a better, was trying to engineer like a more efficient underneath underbody for these cars, and so they ended up with that as their final solution. That being said, obviously it doesn't look like a super detailed option, but that's what it is. So, but anyway, guys, that'll pretty much wrap up this diecast review. This one is actually not going to be on the site. Now, remember, this is actually a perfect example of what you can do, though. He sent me a message on, I believe it was Instagram, and requested this specific car, and that's exactly what I can do. So if you don't see one on the website and you're looking for it, send me a message. I can try to find it for you and get it all worked out. He ended up picking this one up along with 2 other Harvics that'll be in later in the year, and then I get to make a video and then get it sent his way. Now, I always double check if you want me. I always inspect the car, but I don't always take it out for a video. That's up to you if you want me to make a video of it. But yes, you can indeed have your car featured on the channel. So congratulations, Clyde. It'll be coming your way. But as for everybody else, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and we will see you in the next diecast review.